Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy, Blaze McCoy. We're live here for another episode of the WrestleSense podcast. We got a huge week in professional wrestling. We're going to break down all three of the major supercards coming up this Saturday and Sunday. And it's going to be a blast like we always do. Let's check the chat first and see what's going down out there. We got Monstar in the building. Sean Shamrock up there in old Canada. Good to see you. Tito's in the house. Good to see you. Yo, it's your boy Leo from the House of X Entertainment. Good to see you, my friend. Wally. Welcome in, Wally. Welcome in. Good to see everybody saying what's up, talking to each other. Cody Higgins in the building. Good to see you, Cody. Welcome in, my friend. Kelly's in the house. Welcome. Lady Devil and the family stepping on in. I appreciate y'all. Lady Devil, thank you for being a member and supporting the channel. Tito, thank you for being a member and supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all being a part of the show here tonight. We're going to mix in the week in review with the Supercards because pretty much everything that happened this past week has been leading up to this weekend in both companies. But before we get into those companies, we are going to get into a little bit of a local focus. All the time, obviously, whenever AEW or WWE are in the local area, whether it's West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Ohio, we get some of the local talent that we've talked about on here, hopefully on the shows. And this week, we had a good bit of it, man. There's TJ. Thank you for all the shares, TJ. I appreciate that. Whether this guy stops in the show or not, he is sharing our show out every time we go live, and I appreciate that, my man. Good to hear you, Kobe. Yeah, and we're the type that, we don't mind being wrong. When we make our predictions, we make predictions just because we want to go over the show. And I bring some guys who have been in the business for a while in here, good friends of mine. We reunited the old Real Deal podcast last week, and we brought our good friend Church on. This week, we're going to take it a little easier. We got a bad Doc in the house first. What's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a good day. It was a great Monday for lots of local talent. Excited to talk about it.
Hell yeah. And the DH Bruiser.
Oi, cunts.
Oh, geez, right off the bat.
DH Bruiser!
Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh,
Nope.
Bruiser!
all right, there it is.
Hot damn. There we go. All right. So we got a lot to talk
here's
about.
sneak peek, everybody. I'm coming to you from in the podcast
Studio.
studio. Like it's
El Studio. Yeah.
From the
it's coming
side.
along. We might be doing some live real deal stuff here at some point.
Nice.
Monster.
We can ever get everybody with a normal schedule.
It's my man.
Well, as you see, Easy E and CJ not here right now. They might pop in throughout the evening, but we are.
Oh
going to get
yeah.
right- Yeah, there you go. We have the CJ impersonator.
There
over
was
here
there was a cream filled donut shortage, and CJ's working his hardest to help E fix it. I mean, it's a
They're in
whole
the back
thing.
room. They're in the back room making some extra cream, I guess. All right. Well, we've done a lot of local focus.
He's
recently.
humping the cream horns.
Oh my god! And we're gonna
Using
start
him for a
out
fleshlight. All right, I'm
as
done.
we now have a segment called the local focus. So stay tuned. We're gonna kick it off with some local stuff. All right, so let's bring up the new local focus. There's been some of these companies we've already discussed. We've had some people from these companies, as we had Rev Ron Hunt on the show before. We had General Kiesel on the show before. So we have some of the local area federations that we have around here in professional
Promotions.
Promotions, yeah.
Promotions, yeah.
I don't want to call them indies. I don't want to, I want to call them the professional wrestling companies is what it is. So. I don't want to shortchange them anything. They work their asses off, including you, Doc. On how many of these? 4?
Eclipse, 2PW, RWA, Revenge, Rise. I did a little.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
I'm a whore.
Yeah.
I've personally worked for 3 of them. You've worked for most of them. CJ's worked for most of them.
I worked one day for one of them.
Yeah, Blaze worked for one day.
You did good though. I don't know why you laugh about that. You were a great ring announcer, Blaze. I'm never gonna take that away from you.
He's the only ring announcer to step over the top rope like Kevin fucking Nash.
That's right.
I thought he was gonna clip his nuts. I was like,
CJ's like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm like, all right, that's my shtick. There was another guy who stepped over the top rope last night when he showed up. I had a picture of him in here, but we didn't talk about him. But W. Morrissey showing up last night at I don't know if he's signed or not. There was rumors on either you guys hear anything about him signed or anything. He
not signed yet,
shape.
And I hear there could be a competing offer as there is slight interest, a little bit of talk from a new employee of WWE who was just rehired about bringing Enzo and Cass back.
They were definitely entertaining. I'll give them that. We're going to talk first before we get to
Can you keep him away? Can you keep him away from Carbella?
Yeah. Hey, no.
I mean, he was kind of,
Corey's wanted to get back in the ring. Maybe that's his
shit.
storyline.
All right.
So from some of these local promotions, they've showed up on both AEW and WWE. One of them showed up on both on the same night. So let's talk about some of the people that have shown up that are local to this area. Now, I don't know much about Wes Barkley, but I saw that he fought for Rise and Black Label, which I've heard of too. You know about him, Doc?
A little bit, not too much. I'm not gonna lie, but Wes Barkley, you hear the name everywhere. So,
and he went up against Dante Martin this week in a little bit of local shine. And hey, from what I heard, I didn't get to see the match, but from what I heard, did it pretty well. And I just want to give shout outs to basically anybody from the look. Ashton Day, IWC, and Rise as well, as you see on the bottom there. So. Local wrestler also. A lot of shots on Dark and Elevation. I really love that they do that. I mean,
absolutely.
When someone can break through. I mean, a lot of people knock whenever like a big name go down to Dark or Elevation, but I really like it. I like having that. Do we ever discuss about, why won't they just turn one of those into ROH if they can't really get a TV deal? I mean, is there a reason? Have you guys ever heard anything about?
From what the big hold up right now is, yes, technically Tony Khan owns the intellectual property of ROH. What he doesn't own is the TV copyrights rights. St. Clair Broadcasting still owns that. Now it's nothing more, literally from what I've heard, than a error in paperwork that Tony Khan did not file the changeover thing in motion with the purchase when he was supposed to. And this shit apparently takes months and months. It was one of the standing in the way of Eric Bischoff Group to buy WCW. Is that they weren't going to be able to be called WCW for up to 6 months after the purchase went through. So even if he wanted to shop around the TV product to other networks because TNT didn't want to keep them, they weren't going to be able to be called WCW, which takes away all name recognition. So that was one of the reasons that the value plummeted at WCW, and Vince McMahon was able to get it on for pennies. Well, now Tony Khan's having the same problem. Sinclair owns it. Sinclair has been willing to sign it over, but technically Tony Khan should have filed this shit months ago, and I guess he didn't. He was more worried about the other stuff, and this is a telltale problem of what I see. The problems with AEW right now is that Tony Khan has too much on his plate, he needs some people that he trusts to delegate to and to handle some of this shit, because the Ring of Honor product is fantastic. We all know that. It has a great lineage and a great history. The pay-per-views have done moderately well, but until that shit's on TV weekly, it's treading water.
Now, does that thing prevent them from being on, I know, network TV, but streaming services also? The TV rights?
Any type of broadcasting rights is technically, that's another reason why.
Makes sense.
If you've noticed, they're using all the old ROH titles.
Yeah.
And they're not using the newer ROH logo, like that swoopy kind of like half moon logo.
Yeah.
He doesn't own any of that shit. So he had to have his own ROH logo made. And that's why he made something that was so much similar to the older titles of ROH so that he could use the old title belts. That's why Claudio Castagnoli is carrying the old ROH world title, and the old tag team titles are being carried instead of the nicer, more modern titles that they've had for the last couple years. I found all this out a little while ago, and I was like, that's kind of a kick to the balls, isn't it? I mean, you bought the promotion. He probably overpaid for the promotion. And now because somebody didn't know what they were doing, he's treading water and can't really move forward.
Kind of wish, like you even mentioned it too, if he would bring in a hierarchy to work below him so Tony doesn't have as much to do. I listened to his press conference today, which I think he handles the press very well. I mean, he knows what questions not to answer completely. He knows what to keep in the dark, what to bring out. And sometimes he'll just legitimately just come right out and just talk about the business, which I really like how he handles it.
There's no doubt there's no doubt. I mean, he's a great booker. I mean, we've seen some gold come out of him since he started. I just think, one, definitely with ROH, it's going to need its own creative team.
Yeah.
And then I think even now for AEW, he needs to assume, and I hate to use this because this is going to give so much connotation, but he needs to assume that Vince McMahon role where he's overseeing
it,
other people, and as a booker myself, I'm a control freak and I want my hand in everything. So I totally get it. However, there's only so much one man can write, keep straight, and book in a week. And I mean, already they have Dark and Elevation. That's 2 to 3 hours of TV. Rampage is another hour. Dynamite's 2 more hours. So even not counting ROH, he's booking 5 to 6 hours of television a week right now by himself, essentially. I mean, yes, he has producers, but I mean, he's the idea. He's the thing. And he said that he's booking ROH too, which is insane to me.
Yeah, hopefully you can get that worked out, man. That's I mean, like, it sounds like you just need to hire. I'm sure people would love to help him. It's up to him now. Andrea Guerci, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but he's
Mambo Italiano.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Mambo. So we've seen him before, but he fought Kazarian the other day on Dark, and he had a bunch, man. This is a big week actually for local talent. Elijah Dean, Zach Nystrom, and Chase Oliver.
Those are great. Like I said, Elijah Dean and Zach Nystrom right now, they're called Money Shot as a tag team, and they are just running rampant over the indies right now. Those guys are you just don't mess with those two unless you're Wardlow. Then you can. Yeah. We saw what happened to poor Elijah Dean last time he messed with Wardlow. I got to call that shit. That
was got amazing. A Money Shot.
Good to see you, Marvel, Matt Storm, Drum Monkey. If you're just joining us, Brandon Ace too. We're going to talk about the local focus, and then we're going to cram the weekend review with the 3 supercards as we talk over all the matches. But Elijah Dean's pretty impressive. He's a champ, 2PW champ.
Yeah, no. He was the 2PW champ. He unfortunately, he lost that to the country hammer, Jamie Jamison. Elijah Dean is currently the IWC heavyweight champion.
IWC champ. There you go. So well decorated in any event. Some local talent getting the rub.
Kids make it storm everywhere. Excuse me.
I dig it. All right, keep on rocking here for some more action. There you see them in there against Elijah had his debut, with Zach against FTR on Elevation, and that was October of 21. So not the first time they've been on there. It's good to see, like when they return, that they bring these guys back on. That has to bode well for them, as talent in general. So Katie Arquette, she's the one who pulled the Rick Rude, the Lex Luger, whatever you want to call it.
That was awesome.
Both shows on the same day. So Serena Deeb on Elevation.
And she's been a regular on AEW TV. She's been on quite a few times now. Well, at least on their YouTube channels.
Raw as well. So it's like...
well, the thing about Katie is, like, they called her Katie Arquette in AEW, but when WWE was showing her, they called her Katie Arc.
Katie Arcs or something, yeah.
They had to... I don't know if they were afraid David Arquette was going to sue or what. But one thing, you can't kill David Arquette.
Here she is with Kayla Sparks and Danny Moe on Raw this past week. They look pretty good. I mean, they're there. They're not going to be there to big. They're for exposure.
I've never been able to call anything for Kayla Sparks. I've met Danny Moe numerous times. I've called a couple of her boyfriend Facades matches. And one thing I can say about Danny Moe, man, she's a hungry talent. She wants to get in there. She wants to. She's very, very talented.
She eats and sleeps the business for sure.
Yes, yes.
Starting to pay off for a lot of them, though. It's been paying off for her. She's next here, and we're going to talk about this match from RWA this past week. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Doc. It was a tag match, and the winner on Rev's team would get a title shot if they won, right?
Yes,
got the pin?
they got an RWA contract. It was in plastic and everything. It was ready to go, and Rev Ron Hunt was the one who was able to pin the champ. He actually pinned the champ, Ryan Edmonds. J Rock was handcuffed, and I didn't know what was going on. And then Rev said, "You know what? I want this today." He actually cashed in the contract after the tag team match, and the Rev Ron Hunt is your official new RWA heavyweight champion.
There you go. Congratulations to the Rev. He has committed to come back on the show and talk about some of his trips to WWE and his new championship. Now, Revy 4 belts. Yes. He's collecting them out there. But
he deserves every bit of it.
So, and it's so much gratitude. Like when he did that, I was supposed to go to the show. I didn't get to make it, but my timeline on Twitter just blew up with pictures of him and clips from that match. So, and we'll talk about a little bit more about other stuff coming up.
Taylor gave him a great send-off too, saying about, the friends and enemies and that how RWA is in great hands now and everything. Like it was a nice fitting story arc for Taylor's return and the Rev's ascension and coronation, if you want to call it that.
It's got to be the shoes, man. Look at
yeah, those are amazing.
Those are great shoes, dude.
That man in fashion is unreal.
And if you guys remember in the chat, when he came on the show, he's just a real down-to-earth dude. He hung out with us for like almost the whole show, just shooting the shit and talking. When I got to finally meet him at the 2PW show, shake my hand and give me a hug like I've known him all my life, it's this really cool dude, very respectable dude. Like you said,
and he kicked Easy in the balls, so that automatically scores him brownie points.
Anyone who gets to kick Easy in the balls. So I really would love to pick his brain about what happened, how he gets caught, whatever he's allowed to talk about and stuff like that, and some of his experiences when we get him back on. Very busy this week, he couldn't kick it. So did the Rock and Roll Express not make it last weekend?
Robert Gibson made it. Ricky Morton, however, is contractually obligated to NWA. And if NWA has something going on, unfortunately, Ricky has to go. So St. Louis called, and Ricky, talked to the promoter, and hopefully, in the next month, though, Ricky has guaranteed he will be at Fall Free for All with his partner, Robert Gibson.
I saw
on my birthday.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together when I saw the NWA 74 card and results, and he was on there. And I'm like, I didn't. Put
Are
two
you
and two
coming
together.
down for your birthday, boy? To see?
I don't know. I get home from a motorcycle trip from a week the day before, so we'll see how I feel.
All right.
I would like to, and it'd be a fun way to spend my birthday with, some of the boys and gals. So.
Here's a question for Doc. I'm not sure, but who is the guy on the top with the mask?
That is Jason Gorey. Yes,
Oh, that's
the
Gorey?
new age
All right.
plague. Yeah, he
There you
bites
go.
people. It's very scary.
He was actually in that.
And
main
he
event that I
incites
showed
riots
from
with fat women, which is fucking hilarious.
We won't get into that either. Oh my god.
Obviously, they know him a little better than I do.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's
So,
nice
and
to-
obviously Rev there as well. So, kind of a couple shows coming up. This one in IWC, and there's Elijah Dean. I wanted to show him again, and of course, the champion there, and that's coming up Saturday the 10th.
Big Rig Jason Tyler. I would. A lot of people are overlooking this kid, and I say he has big things ahead of him. So, well, I miss you, Big Rig. You know why?
If anything. Wardlow has been to IWC as well. Now we know Wardlow's not going to show up, but if I was any promoter and if I was Jason Tyler, I would just play Wardlow's music in the middle of the match.
It'll throw someone off. Super Nacho, good to see. We the 9th of September, the day before this show.
He does not have the shot.
He does not.
My Super Nacho and your boy Blaze.
He's called the plague, the New Age Plague. What do you?
Oh my God. We got our Legion of Dork comes back. We're going to do a He-Man exclusive for He-Man Masters of the Universe, all the history of it, Super Nacho specialty, and we're also going to cover candy from the 80s, retro candy that doesn't exist.
Please tell me you're going to talk about Sauron, the movie character that had the sparks, and you hit and it shot sparks out, and it like burned children and stuff. It was an amazing figure.
That's a He-Man thing. If it is,
yeah, Sauron.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't that from Lord of the Rings, Sauron?
No, Sauron. But no, it was a Sauron. I think that's
really?
what his name was. Yeah, and
I thought Saran wrap is what I put my lunch in.
Oh, jeez.
Just saying.
I hit the wrong button. All right. Here's tetanus shot too.
All right. So what's next?
40th anniversary of He-Man. Yeah, that's why we're doing it. So we're gonna celebrate that on the 9th here. Got a couple more things here on the local. Rise coming up back in Pittsburgh. So I figured we mentioned them as well. The runways on there. Remember, we saw them at 2PW as well. There's so many people that work multiple companies. Like, I mean, I got to really think that that's kind of tough. Like anyone that works like 4 or 5 that you can think of. I mean, I know Rev's in a bunch of them. Obviously, he's got 4 belts for some of the ones.
Eclipse 2PW.
Eclipse 2PW, Fight Underground, and no, it's called Pit Fight.
The one at Pitt Greensburg.
Yeah, which
So
I had. Good.
A lot going on around here, and then we have this coming up at the end of the month. It's technically September now, and we got CJ
From the side. Oh yeah, and Ray, if there's any
match.
Yes, the building blocks match. Thank you. It is going to be one hell of an event. It is only going to be 6 matches too. That's how action packed this is going to be. DH, if you're going to go to a show,
I'm supposed to play my band is supposed to play on the 24th. However, it's looking like the bar is going to shut down, and they might not happen. So if that show does not happen, I will be at 2PW
from the side.
I will be there, health permitting, with a table selling from the side T-shirts, trying to.
You will be there because if I have to make 30 fucking T-shirts, you better be there selling them a fucking.
Well, I'm not gonna.
My wife and my child will not be there. So if you realize, DH, it could be just
it'll beat the shit out of Blaze.
Well,
okay, we'll sell tickets for that. Go ahead.
Somebody did fall asleep, and that's why he's not here right now. So he just woke up. The man that's inside the S right there. So hopefully he'll make it on here sooner than later. But we're done with the local focus now, so we're going to get to the predictions and everything, because that is the last show.
Bring it on!
Yeah, let's go. I got a pack
in the month, and here we go. Let's get right to it. Now we're only going to do one segment here, so no from the side making sense, no 6 senses. We're just going to give our 2 cents, what we think about these matches coming up for not 1, not 2, but 3 Supercards this weekend. Stay tuned. All right, 25 matches, but look at this. Wow, that's a weekend. That's a week. I mean, that's this week, and that's not even counting
Mhm.
like Dark and Elevation. So when you throw 3 super cards, I like to call them super cards because they don't call them pay-per-views. They're not all considered
Premium live.
premium live events. But I'm looking forward to them. I've actually all 3. Now, not so much the NXT one, but anytime you're unifying belts, that intrigues me. I dig it. Oh, he's going back to bed. Okay. CJ tonight. He's going to go back to bed. All right, so let's rock through. Like I said, we're going to cover a couple quick things, and then everything that happened this week, throughout the week, I started to realize I was doing 2 videos, like these all intertwine into the same thing, all into the same fabric of getting ready, all these go-home shows and matches. But this was something I'm interested in. Triple H planning, and this is a rumor, that I'm looking for new belts, which I would be. I think the real big W thing, I understand the branding and everything is getting kind of old, something fresh.
Bring back the Winged Eagle.
Which I'd like to see a hybrid, like something new. The Winged Eagle with the W or something, and something new, as well. Like, I know they want to brand it, so when you see the title, it's a WWE Championship. I get that.
If it's any indication, I loved when NXT first started. I love the NXT belts, and the NXT UK belts are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. I was just going to say,
hopefully there's some of that DNA in there that, if Triple H is making the decision at least has a say in the decision, that, we're at least going to get something that's kind of cool, creative, and not just the same belt with a different color strap or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really not a fan of that. I do think the belts should have some type of theme, like they should look like they go together, which is one of my complaints about AEW. Like, the tag belts don't really fit with the TNT belt and the world belt, even though there's great things about all of them.
Yep.
But I definitely would like to see them have their own identities as opposed to just everybody has the same belt.
Well, not counting new belts, it's been a good while since they've redone their belts. So, and at a time of transition like this with the upper, it sounds like a good time to do something if they do. Now, this was a rumor at first. I got these pictures backwards, and he is coming back on Raw now. Braun Strowman, it was a rumor before, but now he is coming back. He's going to be back on Monday.
Yeah, they're saying he'll be there Monday.
I'm excited about that.
Okay, I always love Ray's fantasy booking. So, fantasy book where Braun Strowman fits in. Where do you think you would throw him in? There's no wrong answer for it. What would you do?
So, I would have Drew winning at Clash and becoming the new undisputed champion. And I think you put Braun right into it. Braun is the monster heel. That's what he was. Although I would love to see them book Braun as like a big country style babyface, because whenever they do the behind the scenes shits, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And he has so much personality.
He's a good dude. Used to be.
He's a really good dude in real life too.
Yeah, the biggest thing is going to be him. The biggest impact would be him going right after Drew. I mean, attacking him, beat the shit out of him on Monday Night Raw, give you a credible thing. And then you have this intertwined thing of Karrion Kross on SmackDown chasing after Drew, Braun Strowman on Raw chasing after Drew. And you have this multifaceted feuds for Drew with the titles where he has a credible challenger on each brand, which right now, let's be honest, who's the credible challenger on Raw for the title? There really isn't one that's been built up at the moment.
I mean, whenever Cody's healthy, when he's healthy, but who knows when that's going to be.
Yeah, but bringing a former world champion in that already has main event credibility, obviously he's a big ham hock bitch.
Yeah, he's in great shape.
Him and Drew will beat he's in better shape now than he was at any time when he was in WWE. So, I mean, that's how I would do it. And that's going to give you the most bang for your buck, because the biggest thing any babyface champion needs is great heel competition to validate and build his title reign. So, like I said, you have Karrion Kross on SmackDown, which they're already building. And now you have and that takes Roman Reigns away from the main event picture for a while and lets Roman Reigns fade into the feud that's starting to happen between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline. And that is money all around everywhere. You
kind of feel the same way, Doc, with where Strowman fits in?
Yeah, I completely go with
Me too.
BH on this one. And the only thing I would say is, like, right away, I know you want to slam him right into the picture right away, but I doubt that we see a new heavyweight champion after Saturday.
What Brandon A says, the big man. You got another big man coming in. That's And they shouldn't always do flips and dives. Exactly. So that's
Exactly.
He's going to come in and say, get these. Yeah. So, that's definitely the best place for him. So I'm hoping. I just don't want to see the same thing we saw when he was at the end, doing the train around there and the same shit. Let him go loose, man, and give him some humor. Like you guys said, he's an entertaining dude. Hopefully he comes in face. He can entertain the shit out of
people. For the first 3 to 6 months, he should just be a monster heel. Forget the stupid train shit. Forget to get these hands.
Yeah.
Let him come back and cut the promos that, I'm not here for that bullshit. I'm here to, fucking cash checks and break necks, and you're fucking next. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if Drew is the champ come Monday, it would make sense for Braun if he's going to do a program with him to come in as a heel. So that would make sense because Drew's going to get. So here is your poster, and we're going to go through with some highlights, some things that lead up to it. Now, Theory got his first name back. I'm so happy about that, and I'm so happy that Matt Riddle got his first name back. Now give us fucking Pete Dunne already.
Listen, that fucking promo.
Yeah.
The second part of that was the best thing that has been on Monday Night Raw in fucking years.
Well, there was people that actually thought that fight outside was real or something. Like, they did it pretty well if they're making people think that was real, but
yeah, but the delivery of that, like the sincereness of Seth Rollins, whenever he's like, Riddle, you still there? You know what I mean? And like the way he delivered that and the way he was like, come on, bitch. Like, and Riddle, I mean,
the other side of Riddle.
The only nitpick I had on it is Riddle stared into the camera at the very end of that for entirely too long.
Yeah,
he should have ripped the fucking mic off and stormed out like 15, 20 seconds earlier. It looked a little too, but the delivery was fantastic. I have not been, and I'm not going to lie, I've not been 100% interested in this feud. I know the match will be good because you have two great workers.
Yeah.
That fucking promo, though. Oh.
But I just love how, Riddle, I was totally expecting Riddle to be like, oh, bro, no problem, bro. Forget it, bro. No, he was serious. He's like, what did you say? I mean, you throw a little bit of realism in there, which is kind of a theme throughout a lot of the stuff going on both these companies, how they work in reality into a lot of these stuff and intertwine it. Go ahead, Doc. Get it off
Please
your chest.
tell me you're going to say some stuff about what I think.
No, I was going to say this. If you look at it, Riddle started it. Riddle mentioned his wife, so he's going to go for the throat. If you could give it, you could take it. And Seth was like, okay, I'm happily married with my child. Oh, wait. Let's talk about yours.
Because they did this with Jack Perry and Jungle Boy and Chris Chin over there as well. Do you guys care?
Absolutely not.
Me
the
either.
Best storylines are routed in real life.
Rooted in reality. Yes, thank you.
This shit needs to be approved. Like, no one should go into business for themselves and just do this. But as long as Riddle has talked with Seth and Seth has talked with Riddle and they're both okay with this. I mean, if you go back when ECW was the little promotion that could, like before they really started to blow up, the fucking storyline between Raven and the Sandman over his wife and his kid, dude, that built an entire promotion essentially.
Yes,
like
true.
It took Raven, who had washed out of every other major professional wrestling. He was Johnny fucking Polo,
Flamingo.
Johnny Flamingo. Yeah, like, I mean, he was a jobber everywhere else. And it took the Sandman, who I love Hack. That's my dog. Hack is not a talented fucking wrestler. Hack is he is an indie guy through and through.
Brawler,
but it made the Sandman a fucking indie legend. And it made Raven a main eventer to where he was getting fucking $1 million offers from WCW after they had fired him 6 months prior. Because they worked with each other. They knew. They pushed the fucking boundaries. I love when things like this happen. And if you think about it, all the great storylines, like even whenever Austin was coming up and, you could tell the real tension between him and Brett. Whenever Shawn and Brett had that real tension going on, for the Montreal screw job before that happened, whenever it was just about, America and Canada and DX and you're disrespecting that, any of those storylines, when it's more than just you jump me, now I want to fight you.
Yeah.
Anything that we can get real life things. When you go back to one of the greatest feuds of all time, and if not the greatest feud of all time, Dusty Rhodes and the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
When they broke Dusty's fucking arm and took his livelihood away and were trying to take his career, like, that's the shit that hooks people.
Yep.
That's the shit that, like, those are the storylines that takes a casual fan and turns them into a diehard because now they're invested. And that, I don't give a shit about anything else. You can tell that Triple H wants to get to that kind of storytelling in wrestling again.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
love it.
about, it's not about Austin Theory. I took a selfie with you and now you want to beat my ass. He's fucking kidnapping people on Raw. Fuck your wife. This is what I want to see.
Yeah, me too.
This
and
is wrestling.
It's a recurring theme. And like I said, we will revisit this throughout the day. Reality woven into the fabric of the story. And it doesn't have to be pure work, pure shoot. That gray area between it, we've talked about a million times. The intrigue that it brings, it's fascinating. It's what makes it. So we will see these two fight at Clash at the Castle.
Only thing I'm concerned about is the stuff that has been coming out about Riddle in the last couple of days' personal life.
Yeah.
I really hope that they ignore that shit because I really don't want to see Riddle just kind of take the JOB just because he's going to be suspended or punished.
Well, there's already rumors he's getting fired. And I was like, really? People were doing YouTube podcasts that he's getting fired. I'm like, no.
Everybody's
ex-girlfriend outed him for some text or something. And I was like, I hate that shit. But real quick, before we move on and start our picks, we're talking about promos. And this is where I will be a critic of AEW because I heard a couple people actually say that they think that's part of the issue. Yes, we want uncut promos where they go out there and can just talk instead of being completely scripted. But from what I was hearing, they were just told, go out and promo and say what you want. And I think that's a problem because then they are going to do the punk shots at Hangman and stuff. Maybe the stuff that isn't in the story, maybe not yet, but they're not supposed to say it yet, but they're going into business for themselves.
They are policing it a little bit, I heard.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping. Let's rein that in because they got gold over there with a lot of their workers with their mouth and the mic.
In anything, even if you go back to the 80s, like we talk about the 80s like it was the golden era of wrestling for a reason. But if you go back and watch some of those promos, there's a lot of nonsensical fucking bullshit in those promos.
True.
Back then. But, I mean, really, the way it should be done is like, these are the couple points you need to hit. Stay away from this.
Yeah.
But do it.
Rough outline.
And look, this week in wrestling alone, I mean, let's include last week's Dynamite. After the Punk Moxley squash match, Moxley cut a fucking impassioned, awesome fucking
His first
promo.
sentence was gold. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not how it was supposed to happen, huh, people?
Yeah.
That should have shut up. Oh, it didn't because everyone's
And then Moxley came out and cut 2 promos this week.
Yeah.
The first promo he cut to open the show was fucking phenomenal. That was a 10 out of 10 promo to me. With the contract and saying, I mean, that was a masterclass in promo. And then, honestly, I thought Punk's promo fell a little flat. I know what they were trying to do.
Hold on. Don't give that away yet. We have to talk about it.
But what I was going to get at is then you had Moxley come back out and give a response to that. And the response was fucking fire, too.
True.
So, okay, in those 2 weeks, John Moxley cuts 3 promos. Of his entire career, I'm talking WWE, NXT, everything. The top 4 promos that John Moxley have cut was his return promo, and the 3 he just did in a week.
Yeah, true.
He's put his best shit out. Boom, boom, boom. Like, come at me, motherfucker. Like,
true.
That dude is on fire right now.
He is.
Don't tell me there's anybody writing such good shit for him.
No,
that is John Moxley being a top-notch fucking stick man in professional wrestling.
Yep. Yeah, it's the my time is right now, and I'm the man type stuff. It's just that's old school. That reminds me of how to cut an old promo, like old school rap. I've always said a million times. Old school rap was always about I'm better than you. I can do this. You can't. This is why, and et cetera, et cetera. I love those types of pure promos. So, Doc, you are the defending Big Picker champion. So this is the first match out of 25 we have. So,
all right, come on, let's go.
Who you got winning?
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Okay. And Ray, who you got in this one? I'm torn.
I want to go Riddle, but I'm afraid they're going to punish him and he's going to take the L because they're going to suspend him for a few weeks. So I'm going to go Rollins. I think they're going to pull an injury angle again. But fuck it. I'm going Riddle.
All right.
I think
good.
Triple H has the balls to say, fuck that shit. It ain't important.
I hope so, too. Well, here's where I look at it. And I'm trying to make a decision. I look back and I think about Seth's continuous losses to Cody in pay-per-view.
Yeah, he does need the win. So
I'm thinking I'm going to lean towards Seth. Although I am a big fan of both of these, and I'm a huge Riddle fan because he's funny and he can work. That's for me, that's gold. If you make me laugh and you entertain me, you got me. So that's what I look for. I want to laugh. I want to, think of the good stuff, not the bad stuff.
All right.
We'll keep going. We got Kurt Angle this week, and the milk and the shoosh promo and stuff. I think he's hilarious. And look at the shape he's in.
Yeah, he's in really good shape.
Listen, I'm not knocking. I am knocking Vince McMahon. In the last 2 weeks, we had a Trish Stratus and we had Kurt Angle. The legends are being treated with respect. They're being involved in storylines. It's been entertaining as fuck.
You gotta
I hope they keep doing shit like this instead of them coming back and getting insulted in the back by somebody.
Yep.
Like whenever Mark Henry was in the back and getting insulted and shit. Like this is, again, positive fucking changes. I've been the most anti-WWE guy for the last few years. But I'm so happy with the directions we're taking. They're not there yet, but it's fucking getting there.
Me too.
I love the Edge and Kurt Angle thing, calling back.
That was awesome.
Yeah, hold on. You just read my mind, my friend. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead in. The signs, that was gold. I mean, everything that Kurt did was great. I mean, even when the Street Profits were in the ring and they said they want to smoke and he mouthed it, he was like, it was so funny. He's like trying to play along. He's got such a great character. I mean, so he can't do a match and fight. Why would he not just want to work and be behind the scenes on the mic, doing interviews, doing what Titus does as going around what Titus O'Neil does as an ambassador for the company. I don't know.
Even if he just comes in from time to time, like these guest spots are fantastic. That's somebody who you can definitely, as we've seen, he's done the general manager type thing.
I was going to say, do you ever think they'll do a
and
GM
Chad
again?
Gable are fucking money together.
Yes.
I would love to see them bring him in to manage Chad Gable and give Chad Gable a true singles push.
Well, they made that match mean something because they put Kurt up for grabs in that match, which
I would like to see Angle come in as coach and be you're a fucking Olympic worthy athlete. Quit fucking around. You know what I mean? Like,
and
to make Chad Gable serious. Gable Bell to Bell is an amazing worker.
Yep.
All right.
He's over like Rover right now too with his
stuff.
So let's get to lead right into Edge. We had this match made. I was hoping they would bring Beth and Rhea into this and have like a mixed 6-man. But all right, let's go to Ray first on this one. Who you got?
It's going to be the Judgment Day because they've already said Dominic is going to be in the corner. And Dominic is turning on Daddy.
That's a turn. Yeah. Doc, you feel the same way?
Yeah, he said he took everything right. Yeah.
I am too. I mean, I can't go the other way on this. I just can't. I just think that's the way it's leading.
And if I think they wins, that gives you a reason to involve Beth and Rhea, as you said, because then it's not over.
True. I'm almost hoping that they super tease the turn and then maybe we get it on Monday or something. I don't know. It's like a lot of people were calling for that turn right now. I'd like to see them not do it, and maybe Ray has him one more time and they do it on Monday or something. I don't know. I'd like to be surprised. This was a surprise. I mean, a lot of people had Dakota and Io to win this, and it was a weird little surprise. And
all right.
it led to this little gathering, which made me think anytime there's 5 people and it's almost fall time, I start thinking Survivor Series. And if they do keep meaning with these 5 and have 5 against them, why not? We talked about it before. Why not a meaningful Survivor Series when it comes around? Come on, Triple H. If you do anything, this was funny, I thought. The show in Pittsburgh. The funniest part, I should have got the video, was the security guard running full speed, hurdling the thing and running over to grab this.
Yes, he did. He snatched that right out of it. And I know the guy that has a sign. He always follows these wrestlers around. He always shows up at airports wanting to take their pictures of him. He is the one that Ricochet tweeted about. Hey, I respect the fans, but I don't want to run into you at 5 a.m.
Yeah, really. And I understand that. I'm a big Asuka fan too, so I love her on there. So that leads us to this match, which has some cool meaning now since they didn't win the tag titles, Dakota and Io, because we have the other 3 that ran down. I was waiting for the Benny Hill music whenever those 3 ran down to chase what's her name off, because it looked like that. They were like, and you could see Bianca like treading water for a little bit because you didn't actually catch her right off the bat. But let's start with Doc this time. Who you got winning the 6-woman tag match?
Bayley, Kai, and Io.
All right. What about you, Ray?
I'm with Doc on this one. I think Control has to win it.
I'm going to be weird and pick the other one just to do it because I think it could be somewhere where Bianca gets a pin on someone, maybe Bayley, and maybe they end up with a program or something going forward. I don't know, but
I think the opposite. I think Bayley pinned your women's champion to set up their one-on-one feud.
Yeah. That sounds more. I just want to be buck the system first because I like being wrong. I want to be surprised. Liv and Shayna.
Shayna Baszler. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead, Doc.
Shayna Baszler for the win.
You want to? Yeah, we could have said that at the same time together.
Yep.
It better be Shayna fucking Baszler.
Is it time to take the belt off her?
It's time for her to be pushed to the moon. She's been held back
Liv
too long.
To be pushed back. Is it time for her to lose the belt already?
It's time for her to get another chase.
The title reign has been shit.
Yeah,
thank you.
It made her look weak, and honestly, it's what would work best. One, I want to see Shayna and Rousey. That's a great fucking feud.
Yes, me too.
There's money in that for sure.
Teased it already too.
Liv heel because of this. Turn Liv heel because of this. Turn Liv heel because of losing the title. Do the whole the crowd wasn't behind me. Management was against me. Turn her into the fucking crybaby. Blah blah blah. Because she can play that character very well. I guarantee it. And then let her kind of find that character before she starts to build back.
So all three of us got Shayna taking the belt. It was funny because I was watching the guy interviewed last week, Wrestling Days, doing a watch along, and he mushed their names together, Alexa and Asuka, and came out with Alaska.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, it's time to move on from her. I agree. All right, now this one I can't wait for. I'm going to go first and go with Gunther. I think this is a bloody chest mess. And but Gunther has a reason to shout. I don't think he's gonna lose the belt yet. What do you think, Ray?
Das Gunther! But I can't fucking wait to see it. They are gonna beat the shit out of each other, and I am so for it.
I think this is the match I'm looking forward to the most.
I want to see a goddamn car crash with fucking bodies and limbs spewed everywhere. Yeah. I want to see Ludwig get involved and fucking Butch just hurl at him like a goddamn missile. I want to see them get just literally. It's home country, well, sort of. Close for Sheamus, but literally, this is like when you think of a dream match of people beating the shit out of each other. This is
a fight is what Yeah. I'm not looking for a wrestling match here, although there'll be a couple holds.
Not to mention the fact that Gunther's chops on the fair skin of Sheamus, his chest is gonna look like a fucking side of beef 3 minutes into this match.
Doc, are you with the ring general?
Hey man, I saw Rammstein yesterday. I'm influenced. It's a good Rammstein, greatest live show ever. People, go see him.
So, in my opinion, as we get to this match, they've done everything to really make you think Drew's taking this title. The promo package of all what he's been through, and Roman standing tall over him with the chair over his neck, and even the guys. And I've had a picture of it. I thought I must not have put it on here before, but just the leading up, the last few shows has really, led people to think that Drew is going to win. So I am going to pick Drew to win. It's just, I said this,
all that lead up for that.
Yeah, I know. I said this a while ago because his title reign during the COVID era was in front of 0 fans. What better place in a stadium is going to get the biggest pop? And I think there's no run-in, there's no cash-in, there's no Bray. The only thing is Tyson Fury is at ringside. That's confirmed. So now, if he comes out with the British flag at the beginning, that's reminiscent of 30 years ago. Whenever British Bulldog fought Bret Hart. So any callbacks to 30 years ago, I'm down for. So that would be interesting. I'm still going to go with Drew. Now, the question was, and I've heard this floating around too, is it definitely going to be for both belts? Will they do something tomorrow night where it's only for one belt, so Roman still has one, and then the two networks get their champions again? Will someone cash in? And if Austin cashes in, does he cash in for only one and the other one? I think you give both to Drew. Let Roman go on his part-time thing, set up his Rock fight coming up, maybe next WrestleMania or the following one, whatever. Doc? So I'm taking Drew after all.
Roman. I'll take Roman.
He's going with Roman.
Yeah, right. I'm going Roman.
I'm going to agree with you, Greg. Blaze, I feel like this is Drew's time. I mean, if you're going to put the belt back on Drew, like you said, he got the COVID win. Drew's the most over guy in the company right now. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, Sami Zayn's probably nipping at his heels right fucking now because people want to see that turn in the worst way.
Me too.
But Drew's definitely the most over guy right now. Drew is also a Triple H guy. He came back through NXT. It was Triple H that helped bring him back. I don't think they schmozzed the whole belt thing yet. What I think happens is we talked about earlier, Braun Strowman coming back on Monday, him having a credible challenger in Karrion Kross, him having a credible challenger in Braun Strowman. Maybe we get at the next pay-per-view where Drew agrees to verse both men in separate matches, one for each title. You know, something like that, where one of the titles can be dropped. I do think they need to split the titles back up.
Me too.
I think that needs to happen. I do think when Sammy and Kevin inevitably reunite and verse the Usos, that's only going to be for one set of titles. But I think it's time for, let's be honest, Roman Reigns does not need the title.
They're celebrating 2 years tomorrow night. They're having a big celebration for him. It's like, all right, he had 700 days
Roman
and all
Reigns
that.
does not need the title to be the head of the table,
No,
the tribal chief. He does not. Especially if you do have something in the whims with The Rock. I saw that Solo Sikoa is coming up.
Yes.
So you have that going on. But like I said, there's so much other stuff that you can do with Roman where he doesn't need that title right now. I just think it's time to give Drew a run in front of people and let him sink or swim.
So does Tyson Fury get involved? That's what I want. I mean, he's going to be at ringside. He's like at ringside. Doc, do you think Tyson Fury gets involved?
No.
What if the bloodline interfere and Tyson Fury knocks one of them out?
That could be, and then so it's a good.
Austin Theory comes down to cash in, and then Tyson Fury gets involved.
That would be fucking phenomenal.
I would be down with that.
He comes to cash in, and Fury just steps up on the ropes.
I gotta think Fury's going to do something. You know, I mean,
I'm sure he's going to do something. He stated that he wants to do another match with WWE.
So if Drew wins, why not set up those two for the next Saudi Arabia? Because I know that's coming soon.
Or plant the seeds for Mania between the two.
That too. Well, I think Cody will be back by then.
Bottom line is, though, if you're going to give Drew a true run, if you're going to find out if he is the main eventer you hope he is, you cannot find a better time and place.
No, it's
You've
perfect.
had a 2-year run from Roman. You are in his, the first show in 30 fucking years.
Yep.
It's going to be like a home crowd for him. I mean, this is the place to do it.
I can see it.
I mean, the place will go fucking shit.
Yep. They have to. Fireworks go off all around the stadium and he wins. The only other way I can see it is if Tyson comes in to help him and costs him and Roman can win it and it's a schmoz. But why would you do a schmoz?
It's still not the same thing.
No,
this is a WrestleMania 30 level moment. Like when Daniel Bryan won the belt and the entire fucking arena was doing the yes chant. This is an instance where Drew wins the entire fucking arena. Everybody from front row to the fucking rafters.
Yeah, they have to get that moment. He deserves that moment at this point, in my opinion. So
he's earned it. There ain't a doubt.
Yeah, so we'll see. So worlds collide. Like I stated earlier, only a couple matches to go through here. We got the tag team champs of Aaliyah and Raquel. This was interesting how they brought in a bunch of people on Tuesday to kind of give the little
it was
rub.
like field trip day.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it though. I kind of liked it. Throughout the show, you had cameos from people from the main roster come down just to shoot the shit. And I like that they're recognizing NXT history. They're talking about NXT on the main roster as well. Why ignore? I hated the fact
they're unerasing what Vince erased.
Exactly. Good. Perfectly put. Very well put. All right. Now let's get to a couple matches here. So Doc, first we got Carmelo Hayes challenged by Ricochet for the NA title.
Hayes.
You got Hayes?
I agree.
Yeah.
Me too.
I really don't watch NXT, but I'm just going to go ahead and just take guesses with this one. But Hayes.
I think Ricochet is coming down there to help make the kid. I think they're going to have a phenomenal match.
They will.
But I think they're starting to finally rebuild Ricochet on the main roster with his wins over Baron Corbin and stuff. So there's no reason for him to win the NXT North American title.
Yeah, true. So I dig it. We're all on the same page on that one. There's only a couple in the Worlds Collide one. This unification match.
Mandy Rose.
Mandy? What about you, Doc? You think Mandy too?
Mandy too.
The only reason to take it off Rose is if they're going to call up Toxic Attraction. But with the injury, I think that's going to be halted now until they're back at full strength.
I would love to see Blair Davenport win it, but I just don't see him taking off Mandy. They haven't built her up enough to be the next champ. Mandy's had it for a while, so we'll go all the same on Mandy as well, even though I'm not a huge fan of her. She's hot. I've never been a fan. Never been a fan. And I don't know much about Satomura. Now, another one, we got coming down. Now, I don't know why Nikki and Doudrop aren't at Clash at the Castle, because they would get a huge pop over there to come out. But they got them a match, and they're fighting Caden and Katana for the tag titles in NXT. Ray, who you got in this one?
I actually do think this one's going to change. I think Ash and Doudrop are going to win the titles. And then I think they're going to end up unifying them with the
women's titles up top.
Either the women's titles, so that they're going to get rid of the UK belts.
True.
Or, I mean, the NXT women's tag belts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see a sense of having, like, the initial idea for the WWE women's tag team belts is that they were going to defend them in all 3 brands.
Yeah,
and I think that they got away from that, and I think that they bring that back now because the divisions just aren't strong enough to have an NXT women's tag team title.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Doc, who you got?
Chance and Carter. I'm just gonna go for it. See what happens.
Me too. And then the last match, like I said, the only thing that really intrigued me about this is the fact that they're unifying titles. I just dig that. Oh no, we got the tag match first, which Briggs and Jensen, I don't know much about. Gallus, I don't know much about. Pretty Deadly just came on the scene. They were former NXT tag team champs. And we got a 4-way here. Ray, who do you got in this one?
I really like Gallus. I know you guys haven't seen as much of them, but watch some of their shit. I would like to see that happen. But also, I think they're pushing the shit out of the Creed brothers. So I'm kind of a toss-up. Like, my heart wants Gallus, but I don't know if, again, like you said, if they're established enough to the American audience. So
we're not betting for money or anything. So throw a dart at the dartboard.
I want to go Gallus because I think they should put them on and see what happens.
And see, yeah, I'd like to see them give some UK champ a shine because I don't think the main event's going to go to the UK champ. So if it's going to be one, why not give this belt to the UK? What about you, Doc? Do you have
Creed brothers?
I'm going to go with you on that one, Doc. I think I like the Creed, although I like Ray's opinion on that too, or Briggs and Jensen unifying them just to give one of these wins to the UK guys and keep them around and see what, because I mean everybody else just doesn't have a job. I think they'll bring more back once they do the Europe thing.
I think all 3 of us could say this at the same time because
Braun.
I just Braun.
Yes, the Steiner boy.
Ray's like, no, Tyler
Bate.
Yeah, I know. I just
Braun Breaker sounds like a fucking name in a Street Fighter video game.
Breaker.
Him and Zagny for rivals.
I think it'll be a good fight though, for what it's worth, because Bates a little bruiser. He's a bust.
Bates a good worker
too. So
no doubt.
Hey, I'm gonna be there.
There we go, all out. Let's get right to the. It was interesting to hear because they normally called it the buy-in for these shows, and now Tony Khan has taken the ROH name of 0 Hour to use. He had a nice explanation how for maybe Double or Nothing or All In he would use the other one, but I dig it. Their first match was a big time. Now I'm gonna pick Eddie right off the bat, and I have a reason for it later on. So I'm going with Eddie in this one. It's revenge because Ishii beat him the first time. Doc?
I'm gonna say Kingston because Ishii did beat him the first time.
Ray, you said same.
Kingston.
Yes. So Eddie Kingston getting the win in the first of 3 matches. They did the same thing with this pay-per-view, adding all these damn matches. They have 14. Cool Hand Angelo and Hook. Are we all hookers on this one?
Hookers.
Yeah, it's definitely Hook.
So,
although I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a 3-minute squash match. I think that it'll actually be at least a 7 to 8 minute match. Angelo Parker's underrated.
I think we got Daddy Magic coming down, and there's some stuff that leads Hook to fighting another member of the JAS later on as well. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. Angelo
Menard is not cleared, so it can't be him.
Oh, well, it's going to be somebody else then. Now, this one, I like how they brought Kit back. He's lucky enough he was nice enough to let us in at the Peterson Event Center to get in early in that one door when we went to the show, so I'm forever indebted to him. He looked great. I liked it, a little bit of the new look. I don't think he has a chance to win against Pac, but there are some people thinking, hey, what better way if he had someone help him or found a way to beat him to give him some shine after all this time off is to put this title on him and let him defend it all over the world like Pac was. But I'm going to go with Pac. Ray, what about you? Pac, whatever.
I'm actually going to go the opposite. I agree. I think they should give it to Sabian. I mean, Pac's defended it a few times. I like the new attitude of Kip Sabian. And I mean, this is a title that, like you said, is defended all over the place. So these guys could have a best of 5 series of matches all over the world.
Yeah.
So
True. Doc?
Pack.
Doc's going with the Packer. All right. And those are the 3 0-hour matches. And we get into the actual card here, which great. They just named this one not too long ago. A 6-man matchup coming up. Ray, start with you on this one.
I'm going to go House of Black. There was rumors of Malachi Black asking for his AEW release. That is bullshit.
Heard that too.
It was false. It was false.
It's false. He's under a 5-year contract, so he's still got about 4 years left. He ain't going nowhere. But I do think that he's voiced his displeasure from what I've heard of his booking, and they need to start booking him strong. They have the whole Sting thing with Sting getting sprayed with the mist, and it was starting to do the eye.
Yeah.
So they can do some kind of thing there where maybe, they have the supernatural thing going on. Miro does not take the pin, but this is just building to Miro and Malachi one-on-one. And in order for that to build to keep working, the House of Black needs to go over here on the team aspect.
Okay, I dig it. Doc, you on the same page or what?
Yeah, I was on the same page with that one. I think House of Black goes over because if you pin Darby or Sting, it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah,
and Miro's gonna come out of that smelling like roses, so you're good.
I'm on the same side there. I agree. We'll go with that. So now the next match we have Jack Perry. He wants to go by Jack Perry. I was waiting for JR to be all happy because he was always calling him Jungle Jack Perry against Christian Cage. And I think that was a cool way that, I'm going to make it personal type of promo because these two have been really going at it back and forth for him to say, you know what? You're not fighting Jungle Boy. You're fighting Jack Perry. You made it personal. Let's make it personal. And I don't know. I'm still torn on this one. So I'll let you go first, Doc.
Christian Cage because Luchasaurus turns again.
We're gonna go Big Show
Christian
turns
Cage,
back and forth turning for Lucha.
I think Luchasaurus turns again on Jungle Boy, and I have a crying 8-year-old in the stands in Chicago.
Okay, I'm gonna take Jungle Boy. I think this could be the end of this finally somehow. Instead of I'm doing the opposite of what you're saying. You're saying it'll continue with Lucha going back over there, but I think maybe this will be the end. Maybe Jungle Boy goes on to something else. Just a guess. Ray?
I'm with Doc. I don't think that's the end of it. I think Christian does really want to make this kid, though. So I think Jungle Boy has a great showing. We've seen the promo work. You can tell Christian's kind of working with him, a little bit. You can tell he's starting to find himself. But whether it's Doc's idea of Luchasaurus, which I don't mind, or whether it's somebody else aligning themselves with Christian Cage, say Ethan Page, or
he's in that Stokely faction. I think he's going to be in that Stokely faction. If Stokely gets
somebody else, somebody's going to align themselves with Christian Cage. Wes Morrissey.
That will be a good one.
Somebody's going to align themselves with Cage, helping him win the match and setting us up for a Jurassic Express and a Cage and his team feud to where eventually we do circle back to a singles match with these two. But I don't think this feud is done. I think there was too much heat on it for the beginning for it to just pay off already.
Drum Monkey, I agree with you, man. And I think there's a lot of the same sentiment with the disgruntled, the problems. They had that meeting, the meeting that they did the other day. Tony Khan actually alluded to why the meeting was there. It was all that tampering stuff about that, the WWE was actually contacting a lot of those people. So he said that without saying that was the reason, one of the reasons. And I think it all goes back to what Ray said at the beginning of the show. Tony just has too many hats on right now. And if he gets a couple people under him, helping him, I mean, this can work itself out. And I think they can do a lot of people better justice. And rightfully, some of them should be upset.
Well, apparently, too, in that meeting, Kenny Omega was
the most
very
vocal
harsh.
one, yeah.
And I mean, with Kenny, obviously, he's back to work now, but he has not been at TVs because he said that he couldn't focus on his rehab correctly and stuff like that. But maybe that's whenever the company started, you assumed that Cody, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks were really going to be involved in everything because they were EVPs. And then that kind of got scaled back and you thought that, but I think now that the company is established, the tone is established, it's now time. If you motherfuckers are going to stay EVPs, it's time that you start carrying the load.
True.
And I think that was Kenny's way in that meeting of saying, all right, shit's about to get real here.
Yep.
I hope that that's the case because,
Me too.
The last thing I want is all this fucking drama in the background. I want all the companies to do well. And with the fact that WWE is getting so much better, I want AEW to step their fucking game up now. And so WWE steps their game up even more.
Tony Khan mentioned that too, because he was like, I mean, he wasn't trying to make excuses, and even on he was on Busted Open the other day when I was walking, I was listening to him, and he said, you know what, we haven't been at full strength for almost a year with all of our the big names that he has, and he's right, all these guys have just come back, so he's like really close to finally having his roster at full strength with all the firepower. Now let's see what he can do. And like you said, he's got literally a really entertaining show on the other side now. People can't bitch about it. So I love the competition, not direct competition, but the fact that, you know, they got to step up. The other one's doing well.
Oh, fuck.
This is disappointing. But here, Doc, I got to spin on this because I know you're a gaming type dude too. I think they're going to have a DLCs.
I think they are too.
So an ROH DLC. Put Claudio, Samoa Joe, and these guys and Wheeler Yuta in an ROH championship DLC. And I was wondering about Samoa Joe, but then I realized I read somewhere he's doing the Twisted Metal movie. So he's he's been doing a movie the whole time.
Yeah, there was a lot of rumors that he was going to be the Joker, but I don't think that's the Joker. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yes. And I got a couple of theories on that too. So the game did win an award at GamesCon recently. So, and we've talked about the game. I'm hyped about it. Can't wait for it. So it did win Best Sports Game. So somebody who is involved in gaming likes what's coming out. We talked about it, Doc, right?
I loved it. I think it looks great. I love the gameplay in it. And rumor has it they have a demo at the Fan Fest this Saturday. And I am going with my son. I already paid for the tickets. So...
Well, you better take some videos if that's the case.
A couple things, and you can find out maybe more about this, Doc, because number one, we saw the matches that they were having, and I noticed, and I didn't know about it until they announced it. There's no cage match. They do not have a cage match, which kind of sucks.
Would you stop being so butthurt about a cage match? It's their first game.
Yeah, I want a cage, but cage match can be patched in. Hopefully, I don't know.
There was no cage match in No Mercy either, or WrestleMania 2000. Come on.
There's no create a championship, but you can.
So what?
That's not a huge deal.
Champion. That's the whole point.
You can create your own character, but I did not hear a confirmation on a community creations type thing where you can upload your own logos, share them with other people. And that could be a big thing in the internet wrestling community, not to be confused with the other IWC, because a lot of the gamers out there, that's what they want to do. They want to create their own characters, download them, have people create WWE guys so they could have AEW versus WWE. If they don't have a community creations type thing, that will be a downfall, even though I am super excited about the game. But those are just things that
you got to curb your expectations of. You got to understand that all the WWE games, they've been building this platform for 20 years and adding on to it. They completely started from scratch with a whole new platform and are building it from the ground up. So yes, we might not get everything in this first game. That doesn't mean it's not coming.
Yeah, I'm just voicing the concerns that are out there. I'm pumped.
Let's just hope the game isn't the TNA fucking Impact Wrestling game that was fucking terrible. And we actually have a quality game, and then they can add and fix all the rest of the shit from there.
I keep going back to what Kenny Omega said about the game back in the day. He said, it's not 2K. It's not a photorealistic game. It is a hybrid arcade simulation game, which that's what I'm expecting. And the very No Mercy, like in some of those old games. So I'm excited about it. FTR and Wardlow versus the Machine Guns and Lethal. Is anyone picking the Machine Guns and Lethal? I'm not.
No. All right.
All about the pen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they do it, too. I mean, because just to see the contrast of styles between FTR and I love Wardlow. We talked about that when they kind of brought their pinnacle group back together as a trios. I'm looking forward to this one, too. It's been kind of hot ever since Hobbs turned on Starks. I'm a little bit – I mean, I think Starks is a superstar, big time in the future. I'm going to go first and go ahead and just pick Starks. I think he's going to win, right?
I think with the impassioned promo that he's like right on the cusp of something great. So he has to win to keep climbing. So I do think it's Starks. I don't think it hurts Hobbs by losing. I don't think it's I don't think he's hitting the Rochambeau and pinning him. I think it's a flash victory, a roll up, something like that. But I think it has to be Starks for that momentum to keep going.
Dude, a lot of people going with the Machine Guns. I dig it though. I dig it. I wouldn't.
To be honest, I think Starks win and then Hobbs beats the ever-loving shit out of him.
Okay. What
God damn it!
about
I'm sorry, Doc.
Yeah,
What
it's the same exact. Just you know what he said.
Great minds think fucking alike. I don't know what to
I
tell you.
literally,
You
that's
guys
what I was
think-
gonna say. I was like,
alright.
Starks gets away with the win. He outsmarts the big beast, and then boom, pisses the
Yeah,
beast off, and bam.
I think
There you go.
Starks is on a verge of holding that pillar back up really strong and being a big part of this company in the future. I really do. He's got the total package.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so. So Danielson and Jericho, two of my all-time favorites here. I'll let Doc go first on this one.
Danielson, so Garcia can finally be free and be a wrestler instead of a sports entertainer.
Doc, Ray.
I think that we have a great 15-minute wrestling match. I think that Hager comes out to interfere because Jericho's losing the match. I think Garcia comes out and ends up costing Jericho the match. Danielson wins. And like Doc said, we finally get to see Garcia, accept who he really is and join the Blackpool Combat Club.
I agree wholeheartedly. I'd love to see him flip the switch on that right now. Don't waste any more time. While it's hot, strike while the iron's hot type of thing. And two legends, in my opinion, right there. I think it's going to be.
And I hope they do the whole coronation where William Regal comes to the ring and gives him a T-shirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like the NWO joining type thing where it's like, are you in or are you out?
New name in the chat, Hassan Terrell. Good to see you, my man. Welcome to the show, my friend. We're just picking the matches for all three Supercards. We're on All Out now. And
before you guys give your picks on this next match,
okay,
did you in the tag team match that happened on Dynamite, Jamie Hayter either is the best sell of any worker I've ever seen, or she legit damn near knocked herself out 3 different times. She got punched in the face once, and I was like, Jesus. And then somebody yanked her feet out and she hit the apron, but she hit it fucking cattywampus and weird. And I was like, either she's like Dolph fucking Ziggler level sell, or this bitch has almost died 3 times right in front of our eyes.
I would take any combination of these 4 every show forever to fight. I mean, they are all 4 of my favorite women wrestlers on the planet. So yes, Thunder Rosa is one of them too. And we talked about her heartbreaking promo last week where even Tony mentioned it in his press conference. He legit just found out about her injury a couple of days before. So he had to make some quick moves, and he's really excited to be able to pull something together like this, which I'm more excited about this than I would be Tony and Thunder, even though I'm huge fans of those two. And that would be like a respect match because they were partners. I'm way more excited about this because there is legitimately a story and a reason for each of these 4 to win. Britt gets back on top. Hayter gets it, and Britt's jealous. Tony wins like she was probably supposed to against Thunder, or throw Sheeta back on top because she was a great champion, in my opinion. I could see any of these 4 winning, man. It's so up in the air. Ray, what about you?
I think it's Tony Storm. I think that nothing changed as far as the plan of where they're getting to. Yeah. But I do think we finally get the Hayter Britt tease, and that's what cost those 2 the match. Like, okay. I think we finally start to get the split, or they cost one another the match of some sort. I would personally rather see Hayter win. I would like to see Jamie Hayter win so that we can see the jealousy from Britt, and that to me is a better storyline. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're going to do the Tony Storm thing.
See, and even the chat, we got picks for just about any of them. Any one of
Hayter's
these.
thick.
Yeah, boy. She is. All 4 of these girls are drop dead gorgeous, in my opinion. Not to mention they can beat the shit out of anybody. I love all 4 of them. 4 of my favorites. Doc, who you got walking away with?
Storm.
God damn it.
You're going against your woman?
I'm gonna have to go. I think, like Ray had it nailed. They throw a different match on here, but the end game was still to get the belt on Tony Storm. And I think
can't believe Doc's going against Shimmy Sheeta.
Holy shit!
I feel like they're, they had a plan already. Yeah. I think they're gonna skyrocket Tony Storm to the moon for right now.
I'm not gonna be mad at whatever happens. I'm not gonna be mad.
I mean, it's gonna be great. Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I agree. It's gonna be Tony Storm, but I really would like to see the Hayter storyline. Like to me, as a writer, that's the storyline. Is Hayter wins, and we see Britt like with that side eye fucking jealousy.
That should have been mine. That should be mine. Yep.
Yeah.
I was a better champion. You'll never be like me. And
yeah, like the storyline there is fantastic.
Hell yeah, that would be great.
And then Rebel trying to keep them from killing one another and blah 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 until it implodes.
And there's nothing
All
wrong with
right.
putting the belt back
Next
on Britt either. I'm with you, John. The same thing. All 4 could take that title. All right. We got now this match. I got thoughts on this one. I love Athena. She's also one of my favorites. That's why I hate when people knock this division. Yes, they don't get enough showtime, TV time, etc. But Tony was real about it. He was like, "Hey, what do you want to see? Thunder talk for 8 minutes or CM Punk talk for 8 minutes? I'll take the Punk, almost every time." He's like, not to knock the division and the women, but he's going where the money is. And I think eventually this division will get better. I don't want it to be, the whole focus right away or too big of a focus. I love Athena. I was a big Ember Moon fan, but I think Jade wins this one, but they do fight again. So I think this just starts these two's feud for that belt. Doc?
I think Athena beats her. I think this is it.
I would love to call that.
I think this is this. I think the chapter of Jade Cargill being this champ closes, and you kind of put her. I wouldn't say propel her for the title, the women's heavyweight title or whatever women's world title. I say that you get her just into the picture for it, and the way to do that is to relinquish that belt. So
a lot of people, you on the same page, raising on your head.
I agree with Athena wholeheartedly, and the reason, as Doc just stated, if Tony Storm, who we all agreed that's the plan, is going to win, who is the top heel now? The top heel in the female division is Jade Cargill or Britt Baker.
Yep.
Obviously, Britt's going to be in the 4-way match. We've only seen really Britt as the top. So we could see the baddies start attacking Tony Storm. This could be a few month build up to that match to really get to that match. But I do think it's time for Jade to drop this title, and I think she ascends up the ladder to start challenging for the world title, not the TBS title. And it gives some fresh blood, with that TBS title. And honestly, it gives somebody with that title that can work a little bit better and with more people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree
matches, at all. Not that I dislike Jade Cargill. I think she's come a long way. I think she's getting better, but she's still green as shit. Athena can work with anybody.
True.
So that gives you that TV title-esque match. That's what I count the TBS title is like their TV title.
Yep.
Those matches should be your person that every week is defending the title against somebody and having a great match.
I love me some Jade as well. But my end game would be something happens that gives Athena reason to challenge again, like the baddies cost her the match or something. Maybe she wins by DQ or something stupid.
Yeah, but if you think about it, this has been going on for 3 months now between Statlander and her. She appeared at the last pay-per-view. So this has been a pay-per-view to pay-per-view build. So a 3-month build.
True. I'm trying to, open another side of the coin and say maybe Athena gives reason. She has reason to fight again to win the next time. I don't know. I want her to end up where I think it could be the one. She's established herself enough in the past to be the one to take the title off of Jade. And like you said, I wouldn't mind seeing Jade fighting some more stiffer competition now that she's had that belt for a while. This match that fought the other night in one of my favorite matches of the week. I think Roosh is a superstar. He's starting to prove it. I mean, to me, entrances are big. The way a character comes out and shows himself on his entrance, plays along with the music, moves to the crowd, and he just looked like a damn star.
Jim Johnson actually came out. For those of you who don't know, Jim Johnson was the 32-year-long producer of WWE themes. He did The Undertaker's theme, Stone Cold Steve Austin's, etc. And he actually said that the reason there hasn't been so many superstars is that the entrance themes fucking suck today.
Yeah, I read that today. Yeah. So, I mean, I see some of that, but I also see a bunch that
I don't agree. Well,
I see a lot of them that are really, really great.
Just watch TV.
I think AEW has done a great job with themes.
Me too. Plus all the the recognizable songs they've brought back as well. Now, ladder match. Here's where the casino. Here's my take on this one. Eddie Kingston comes back from earlier today, beat down from Ishii, and he wins this match. And here's why: because the next big show is Grand Slam in New York, so he will have a reason and have that championship match against whoever wins the main event. As much as I could put it on almost any one of these guys to get a shot, and I'm a big Ray Fenix fan. I'd love to see him fight. I think unless it's Claudio, and you get a champion versus champion type match, I really can't see any of these guys beating Moxley or Punk. But if Kingston was there, he'll get that hometown pop in New York for the next. So I got Kingston being the Joker and winning it. Ray? And I know the MJF talk is out there, and all the other talk of who could be
Doc,
that Joker.
go ahead, because I know you and I are going to have the same fucking idea.
All right.
And,
Doc, go ahead.
I've already stole like 3 of your thunders, so I'm
I was gonna say Andrade.
You got Andrade in it?
Andrade.
Wow. Doc going off.
Fuck you. It's MJF, goddammit. MJF returns. He's your Joker. He's winning the goddamn thing. Punk's winning a world title. That's what we're getting. Love it, live it. I don't give a shit what you. That's what's happening.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to the main event, Swerving Our Glory and Acclaim. I watched
Acclaimed.
I watched the podcast today and said, if you're going to put the belts on Acclaim, now is the time. And it looks like both you guys are going Acclaim.
Acclaim.
I will.
All right,
I
let's
will
just.
too. I kind of feel it too.
It's time for the heel
Wait,
turn.
I got a pack. Let's go. Main event.
It's time for the heel turn. I hope Keith Lee's the one that goes heel, though.
Real quick before we get to the main event, we got
fuck.
the trios final. And rumor has already been coming out that Bobby Fish is letting his contract wear out. So we may never see these
It's
three
already
fight
worn
again.
out.
So
It's already done.
these three may never get to fight as a trios. But we do have a finals in trios. So it's going to be Bucks and Omega versus either the Dark Order or the Best Friends. How you got that falling out there, Doc?
Dark Order.
You got the Dark Order winning tomorrow and then winning at the pay-per-view.
No. Dark Orders, you're going to win in the Friday. And then who's the other ones? Who won? Because I didn't get to watch. I was at Rammstein last night.
Omega and the Bucks.
Omega and the Bucks win the trios.
Okay. Ray?
I agree. I think it's going to be Hangman and the Dark Order winning on Rampage, going on to against the Elite. I do think it's Kenny Omega and the Bucks, but I think at the end of that match that we get the embrace and handshakes and hugs where the Elite is back and, you know, they forgive each other. You know, we get the feel-good moment of the Cowboy and Kenny Omega squashing their beef and the Bucks hugging and the whole shit. They've been teasing it on being the Elite, you know, for weeks now. It's time for that. And really, Hangman's been kind of directionless. So getting him back into that mix with the Bucks, I think, is the best thing for him at the moment.
Whatever can get me some more Omega and Ospreay too, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's fucking phenomenal.
So we got reintroduced, or some people for the first time introduced to Ace Steel. There's a little flashback to when he fought in 2002. He came out, and my only remark about this when he came out and Moxley put the envelope down is, if I'm anybody in that back, I'm rushing up there to grab that fucking envelope. But I get the story. I knew how it was going to unfold. I kind of figured it whenever I was like, wait, isn't that his trainer? He's going to come out and force him to do it, which he did. And like Ray,
yeah, and it cost him $30,000 too
for saying fuck. For
yeah,
saying
because he can't
smack
not
him.
fucking say fuck on national fucking TV. $30,000.
I love the passion. I love the only part I hated about the promo was the very end when he said, because he was all leading up to, this is what I'm going to do. You can't break my bones. You can't drink my blood because we are Chicago. I was like, okay, I get it. All right. So, you know, it was good. It was nice. Everyone was talking about, we're going to get Omega Moxley anyway, and we are. So, Doc, how is this one going to end up?
Punk wins.
You got Punk winning.
Yep.
Ray?
Punk wins.
Wow.
Tony Khan's favorite action figure wins. All right.
That is immediately cashed in on by MGF.
Yep.
I'm going the other way. Moxley, like Ray said earlier, is on fucking fire right now.
Oh, I don't disagree.
Punk can take another loss and play that whole, I got to fight out of this. I think Punk turns heel. He loses
Chicago.
and turns heel. He's going to lose and turn heel.
We talked about
They've already done the praise Chicago shit. They did it on
We talked about
Wednesday.
it during Tony Storm. A plan is in place. Let's write this shit. Punk got the belt because it's time to negotiate TV deals, and Punk is the biggest star you have.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
think Moxley put a very good plea into why he should be the man this past couple weeks too. Like
HBO Max is looking right now.
It could be
that would be great because I would love to have a pay-per-view where I don't have to pay $60 to just turn on HBO Max. So guess what? Give Punk the belt so I don't have to pay money.
I'm hungry for heel Punk after what he started doing.
I think we get heel Punk.
I think we get him too.
But I think Punk wins tomorrow night to get the belt back and right the ship. I think I want to liken it back to like back in WWE days, whenever you had Bret Hart, who was the best pure wrestler at the time, But then you had Shawn Michaels, who was the best character. And he was a really great wrestler, too, don't get me wrong. But there was all the arguments whether, like, Michael should have won in that Iron Man match, you know, like whether you should have taken it off, blah, 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 blah. Right now, Moxley's on fire. You can make a case that you shouldn't take the belt off him. And like I said, he's been fucking phenomenal. However, the Punk is the bigger star.
I agree.
Right now, we're heading into TV things, you know, to TV negotiations. They're doing everything. They put the belt on Punk at Double or Nothing for a reason. And then you had a snafu. We had an injury.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think the heel Punk doesn't need the belt. It's his fight to try to get it back because he got fucking robbed because he's hurt and he doesn't want to be, and he's a heel and he doesn't hate everybody now.
The reason
they
Punk
turned on
turns
him, blah,
heel,
blah, blah.
The reason Punk turns heel is because MJF is going to cash in his casino contract at the end of All Out. He's going to take
MJF
the belt
to walk away with the belt. All right.
And now you've had Punk lose to Moxley in, you know, his comeback match because he wasn't, you know, sure of himself. Then MJF, who wasn't even on the fucking card, comes in and wins this ladder match, takes my belt, blah, 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 and you have him turn heel. And the crowd will go nuts as MJF turns into not a baby face, but into a tweener face. Where,
yeah, whatever. I dig it. So this guy right here will be at the show. He's leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow, as he keeps reminding us.
That means I got to,
I'm jealous.
I got pack.
Have a great time. Make sure you take notes, do a little video. Little guy should have a blast as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, he wants to get his picture with the Acclaimed. And I am definitely going to have him sitting between them both going like this.
My God.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, that is our end of the
send
day
it to my father-in-law.
At the end of the day, Doc will be at All Out, and we'll talk about it next week, about everything that unfolded on all
so much footage. So much footage.
Big weekend in wrestling. We said it right at the beginning, and I just want to bring this back one more time. Look at this shit this week at wrestling. It's going to be great, folks. So it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Thank you for being a part of the show. LTD will be live momentarily. And just for CJ from the side. See you later, guys. Peace. Positive vibes.
Fuck!